to you from the poorly painted studios in Cumming, Georgia. This is the Chuck and Z Show.
Is that a guitar you play like a violin?
And now, here's Chuck and Z.
I was trying to slap at a bass, but I didn't do a very good job of it.
It looked like a violin that you
I
were
know.
like-
I was like, what am I doing? Oh, yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 3 of Chuck and Z. Yes.
Yeah, that rhymes.
Episode 3? Yeah, it does. You heard me right. It is definitely episode 3. We did record episode 2 with our very good friend Sharon Klein, but staying on me, I made a mistake somewhere in the process and her mic didn't record properly. Heard it fine in the headphones, but whenever I actually did the mix, her mic must have somehow been muted. So anyways, don't know how it happened. My fault, but I truly apologize to Sharon. We are going to release that episode, but we wanted to record this one first so that you would understand what happened. And then because when you're going to listen to it, she's kind of like an echo in the room. You can hear her and it's a good conversation. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and release it, because I felt like it was a great conversation. So bear with us on that one. So episode 2 will be out shortly after this one. But anyways, that's my intro and why this is chronologically incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. So so what's been going on since the last episode, Z? Not too much, right?
Yeah, we just only went to Sturgis. Whoa, I can't believe I just said that out loud.
Yeah.
It's surreal, honestly.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. I just never thought, been riding 6 years myself, and I just never thought I would get to go so soon. You hear people that have been riding all their lives and never go. So
yeah, we were at bike night last night and someone said, "How was Sturgis?" And we're like, "Oh, it's great. You got to go." And you're like, "Man, I've been wanting to go for a long time and I've never been. And I know that guy's been riding for 20 something years."
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
But, hey, we got to get this going real quick too, by the way.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers, my love.
All right.
So let's start off with the very beginning, which was one of the coolest things that I think I've had the opportunity to do, which was I bought a TRX.
Did you?
I did. I bought a TRX.
No,
which
I know.
I know. It's crazy. We bought it, Wednesday? Was it Wednesday or Thursday?
It was like Tuesday, Wednesday.
And then we left and immediately drove it 2,945 miles round trip.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I drove the first, 18 hours? Or I drove like 18 of it was 21 hours the first time. I drove 18 of those.
Yeah.
And
because you didn't want me to drive at all.
It is not true. That is not true. I really honestly was enjoying driving the truck. That's the crazy part about it is even though it was a long drive, I really was enjoying it. I mean, that truck just has this steady, and it's like, it just pulls.
Yeah.
It feels so confident. Everything you do is just like, yeah.
I got this.
I got this.
Yeah, it's a fun truck to drive.
Yeah.
The only parts that kind of had me nervous was like going over potholes and like there was a lot of construction on the road in South Dakota on the roads leading into Sturgis. So there were a lot of like highways that got turned from like 4-lane highways into one, or no, it was 2-lane. Sorry,
Yeah,
2-lane highway into one, and so it was kind of
things pretending to be roads. I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of all cracked up. Outside of that, though, I didn't feel that trailer when I was. I mean, obviously, right? The truck has got a supercharger. I mean, I didn't feel that trailer at all. The only time I felt it was when we hit really rough roads, and then it wasn't about it was moving the truck around or anything. I just could see it bouncing. And I'm like, it's not good.
I know.
It's not good.
I was worried about the motorcycles, but
Mm-hmm.
I was glad we trailered the first time, especially. Didn't know what to expect, and I really wanted to know how it would be to even be in a car, truck, towing a trailer for that long. And I can only imagine, just like with the elements out in the open air, just how hot it was, how dehydrated you could be. And then on top of that, we only had so much time taken off. So
Yeah.
we would have had to do like a 3-week type thing.
Plus, the other thing is we take a lot of equipment when we go on trips like that. Like, it would be very hard for me to carry all the camera equipment, all the stuff I need for charging the GoPros, everything that I would need for clothes for 7 days or however long it was. Was it 7 days? 6
Yeah.
days? 7 days. It just, we would not have enough room on the motorcycle. I just don't think we would. So we trailered. I'm glad we did too. I really enjoyed having the trailer. It was fun. But the only real downside, I would say, to that truck is 303 gallons of gas.
Yeah, and no gas mileage at all.
No. I was happy when we were cheering when we got it.
To 9 miles per gallon.
So as I learned the truck, because I mean, it's a brand new truck. Like, I'm learning how to drive it and what range to keep it in, as far as like to get the best gas mileage in it, especially, which unfortunately in that truck is like 62 to 65. That's where it kind of gives me pretty good gas mileage. But anyways, so I think overall we averaged about 9.5, much better on the way back than on the way there.
Definitely.
Yeah. But it was a great ride up. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
The ride up was fun. And then we got into Sturgis around 2:30 a.m. Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Which was it? It was like 4 a.m. our time here in Georgia.
In Georgia. Yeah.
So we were kind of wired. So we actually got our luggage in, and then went to sleep. We slept for probably like 2 hours, 2-3 hours, right? Mm. We woke up at 5:30. We were ready to go. Like, we were ready to unload the bikes, hop on the bikes, go riding. Because on the way in, even though it was 2:30 in the morning, I was driving and I could feel the roads twisting, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be some good riding tomorrow. So,
and it was
100%.
It's great riding. It's different riding than what we typically do with the mountains, right? But it's long sweeps, long straight highways.
Yeah.
And there were some pretty twisty areas, but for the most part, it was long sweeps that you could really get into those bikes on, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And cool folks. We got to hang out with some really cool folks.
Yeah. So the house was an amazing house that Jake was able to pick out for us.
That's Mr. Jake Swan.
Swan Dive.
Swan Dives. You know, that's actually something funny we talked about while we were there. Like, we walked up and you're like, hey, this is Lauren. And I was like,
who?
Lauren? Like, yeah, Low Swan. Oh, Low Swan. It's nice to see you.
Yeah. So he did you can tell he took a lot of effort and put a lot of work and love into finding us a great house, new construction in Leeds. And it's in this great subdivision, and it had, I don't remember how many rooms, like 9 rooms or something. It was huge. And almost every bedroom had its own like
little
bathroom. So that was cool. And so it was really fun. There were 4 couples and some other guys that came, and gals, and we had a great time.
Yeah. No, the cool thing about it, and I think this is the entire trip, is something about, because we're going to talk about some of the folks that we got to meet, some of the folks that we normally only see on social media, that are cool folks within the motorcycle industry, plus just people that are moto enthusiasts that we follow or whatever. But pretty much everybody, because, you know, sometimes you meet people from social media and they're not really who you thought they were. Like, they're different. Or that's in general, right? But celebrities, social media, whatever. You meet someone, they're not quite who you thought they were. Their persona is different. Mm-hmm. For the most part, everybody was who I thought they would be, right? Jake and Lauren, just so much fun. Tim and the blonde biker babe. I mean, just good people. And I mean, what do you say about like Moto Clay? You know, just a kind of a crazy dude, good dude too, right?
Genuine,
you know, genuine guy. Fun loving, had a good time with him.
Yeah, he's the life of the party. Like, he's crazy.
Yeah, he's a crazy guy. And then obviously Super Mario, just a guy who likes to ride motorcycles and hang out. We got some sermons. We got a sermon one morning on a Sunday morning.
Yeah. Big D.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jess, Bikes and Balayage. She's awesome.
She's so cool.
And Tiff. And it was kind of like the girls at least, and I'm sure on the guys' side too. But
Oh, don't forget Zach.
Oh yeah, Zach.
Yeah,
Jake's
Zach.
bro. Oh my gosh, everybody has their, like I was gonna say, everybody had their strengths. So the girls, we pointed out, like, you know, everybody has a talent, and like Jess, she's a hairdresser and a makeup artist, so she was doing people's hair and makeup while we were there. Tiff, she's an IT nerd, so she was into like the videography and taking the pictures, and really, really cool, just making sure that everybody got some spotlight.
Yeah.
Lo, she's amazing. She's a athlete and a ex cheerleader for Dallas Cowboys, and she also has a fitness she's a fitness instructor, and you know, giving us tips. And Tiff actually is a Zumba instructor as well.
Is she really?
Yeah,
I can see that.
yes. And Jess, I mean, she's the bubbly life of the party, you know, sweet as can be, just really down to earth. And
Hell of a rider. Yeah, although
yeah.
she was mostly riding on the back this time, but you know, obviously she has a Ducati, she has a Harley. She's as cool as can be.
Yeah. And all of us, you know, it was a cool bonding time for everybody. And there was, it was really impressive that 12 people. Oh, and Kayla, sorry, because they came later.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time with the first crew that I mentioned, but Kayla and her husband Randy, they came on our last day, which was sad. We didn't get to spend more time with them, but they're awesome as well too.
Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah. So but what I was saying was
12 people, so different, and
yeah,
like the Avengers, like, Supermotor friends.
But what I was saying was, like, 12 people. We've only met them one other time, and that was like on a flyby trip to Daytona when we first got our road glides back from White Lightning. We took the girls on a ride on a 32-hour trip to Daytona.
It's like 1,100 miles. Right?
1,100 miles. Yeah, 1,174 miles. I remember that.
Yeah.
But we met them briefly. You know, we spent like a few hours with them, maybe 3 to 4 hours, and bonded then. But then, you know, decided to go on this Sturgis trip with them, and it was just crazy. There's no drama.
No.
You know, everybody got along. Everybody had a good time, and everybody pitched in and helped, you know, the house cleaning and all that kind of stuff, and just held it down.
I think the most complaining of anyone was just like, I want to ride more. Let's go ride more. I mean, we rode a lot, but it was like, I want to ride more.
Yeah.
That's, and then, you know, one of the other things too is Mount Rushmore. Some of the things that we got to see, Crazy Horse, the Mount Rushmore thing was a big deal for me. When I was a kid, that was always like, you know, because when we were younger, we had that American thing drilled into us.
Yeah.
It was a big deal. I mean, I was one of the
patriotic.
Reagan kids, right? You know, I was born in 76, so very patriotic when I was coming up. And I remember, like, in my textbooks, Mount Rushmore was like this austere thing. And so I was super excited that I got to go see it. It did look different than I expected, but it wasn't not cool. It's cool as hell. It's incredible. And like, I could get my camera real close to it. So
it's kind of weird.
It is.
Honestly, like, how do they keep that just so pristine?
It's constant maintenance, I think.
Yeah. It's just crazy. Like,
but in my head, I felt like, I don't know why, but I always pictured it as being like the mountain itself was smaller, like, and they were the big part of the mountain, right? But
is that what you had in your head?
Yeah, for some reason.
That's funny.
Right. Whereas they're carved into the mountain versus on top of them or something. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'd seen pictures of it before.
Did they always have, and I guess I should have seen this before we did the podcast, but I didn't expect to be as close to the mountain as we were at the memorial, at the amphitheater. Like, I felt like it should have been like far off into the distance. I don't know. And that wouldn't have made sense anyways, because what kind of entertainment would that be?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying though. Like, you didn't think you'd get that close to it, that it would be something you would see in the distance. Yeah.
And there's something else about that mountain that most people don't know. But when you're leaving the amphitheater memorial museum area, if you go right instead of going left, you can get a profile side of George Washington's face.
Yeah, thanks to Jake. Jake said, hey, there's this other little area we need to go check out, and it was really cool. We got some good pictures there too.
Yep, we did.
Yeah. Then we saw Crazy Horse. We went to go see the Crazy Horse thing.
Mm-hmm. That was fun and funny.
It was. It was a good time. I mean, the size of that head is insane, but they've been working on it since the 30s. And I kind of respect it. Like, they're refusing to take anything but donations. And so the work is slow, but still, it's like, gosh,
it's
been like
never
100
gonna,
years, right?
I know. Because the guy who started it in the 30s or something like that. And he died in early 2000. we?
People are like, that's not right at all.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You guys can fact check
Y'all can
us
fact
later.
check us. I don't care.
But so he died without seeing it, finished. And he said, it's, if it takes 100 years, and it's like almost going to be that in like 10 more years or so.
And then you got the face done. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's only the face. So.
Yeah. But it's really cool. And then they do have a small example of what it's supposed to be. So that was cool to see too.
Yeah. Yes. And Needles Highway, amazing. Going through that tunnel and coming out into like seeing just like the open landscape and the mountains in the distance. I mean, it's pretty cool.
It's a good time. And then what was it? Spear Creek?
Spearfish Canyon.
Spearfish Canyon.
Yes, that was a nice highway too. A nice road.
That's the thing that I really liked the most. There was a lot of great moments. Some of the places that we went and visit, like Full Throttle Saloon. Really cool. Got to see Yellow Wolf. That was cool. Got tattooed. What'd you think, my man? Good spot, right?
Good, baby. All good.
All that stuff is cool. But some of my favorite moments were on those long sweeps. Just leaning that bike, looking down, seeing that, we're getting in them pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That first day was fun. That's when we did Needles. And then on the way back to Leeds, we actually took a detour and we went into Wyoming and then around that way. And so we got to stop at the Wyoming welcome sign and all of that. But getting into Wyoming, I mean, we were killing it.
And it's,
we were on those bikes.
And the cool part is everyone's a rider.
Yeah.
That's the really cool part is, Jake's on a badass bike. We've got some badass bikes. Lo is a badass rider. I mean,
She's such a good rider.
there's no one there that's not a rider, that's not a rider. And that's cool because, you get into those sweeps. And I'm used to looking in my mirror and I'll usually see you or if I'm following you, like there's the Hawaiian shirt day, like you were ahead of me and you were getting it. And I was, anyways, but my point is like you look in the mirror and you're right there in my pocket, right? And then you can see just people, a line of people just lean going. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it. But I highly recommend if you can go with folks who can ride, that you do, because it was a good time.
The days that, Sturgis started, because we got there on Thursday, so the Thursday right before the beginning of the rally. So it was kind of quiet on Thursday, but come Friday, Saturday, especially Saturday, oh my gosh, there were so many people there. So if you want to get some good riding in that's uninterrupted for the most part,
Get there
go early or stay until after the rally. So another cool part of Sturgis was that, we wanted to connect with some of the our sponsors and some of the brands that we promote. And
some of the brands that we just like.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I mean by promote, because that's all I do. I don't really like to promote anything that I don't really feel passionate about myself. So, so we had Saturday was Sturgis Day. So we went downtown Sturgis and met a lot of the people that we've been talking to and communicating with over email and text and IMs and all that. So first, when we pulled into Sturgis, we did a whole loop around just to kind of check it out. And then pulling into the JMP cycle area, passed by Memphis Shades, and Mike immediately stopped me because he saw my bike and he was like, "Hey, lady, you don't need to park here," or something like that. It was funny.
Yeah. No, Mike's a good dude. Yeah, it was.
I was like, "Oh my gosh, Mike!"
It was so nice meeting that guy.
He's a cool ass dude, man. So yes, Mike is awesome. And he let us park because there was like literally no parking. We parked right beside Memphis Shades. Right,
that's pretty, that's pretty nice.
A little,
road
parking. Please do not put that in there.
I'm 100% putting that in.
So checked in with Mike, and we even had some of our crew that needed, replacement parts for their fairings, and most of our crew rocks Memphis Shades. So he was cool, and he hooked us up with, some parts and things like that, and fixed their fairings. And then we went over and met Christine LaPera at LaPera Enterprises, LaPera Seats. She's exactly who I thought she was and how I thought she was going to be. She's a beautiful woman, very, very down to earth, and really just the heart and soul of LaPera from what I could see. So it's really exciting to get to see her and see her in her element and meet her officially. And then we went to the Cardo party. So we rock Cardo Bluetooth headsets, and they are amazing. And Taylor and crew invited us over, and we were there with a bunch of different other moto vloggers, influencers, and fun people.
Yeah, content creators.
Yeah. So it was really cool. I got to meet Jess, her two wheels. She's awesome. Finally met her after all these years. I think we've been following each other for maybe 3-4 years, or whenever she first started into her vlogging. And it was really cool to see her spike up and all of her success with her channel and IG. So that was really cool to meet her officially. And met Taylor from Cardo, Taylor Betts. He's awesome. Got to meet Brady, because he's like, we haven't met before. I mean, I really thought we had too, but go fast, don't die, Brady.
Yeah, that guy's really cool. So I was having a little bit of a problem with my clutch. We were getting on these bikes pretty hard, and so my clutch was being a little funny, and I actually was complaining a little bit, and I didn't really realize, like, I was talking to you and Brady was standing there, and then it's like, "Hey, what's up, man? Nice to meet you," all that good stuff. And he's like, "So what's wrong with your clutch?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just shitting on me right now. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. I may have to park it the rest of the week." He goes, "No, man, let's go get your clutch fixed. Let's go get a cable." And I was like, "All right, so where do we go?" He's like, so he walks me over to Barnett, which, by the way, Barnett did a really good job of creating a custom cable for me on the spot. Then he showed me where to go get the thing installed. Mm-hmm. It was just really cool. Like, he took the time to he walked all the way over there with me, talked with me with them, walked all the way back and said, "Are you good? You get your clutch?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm good." And it was just a good conversation. He's just a really, really cool dude. And I think he sensed, it's our first time in Sturgis, so we're trying to find our way. And he's like, let me show you, this, you can get this shit done here, man. Like, you don't have to like go, "I'm going to park my bike." Right? You could probably figure it out. Right?
Yeah.
And he's actually, and the thing that he said to me that really, really told me how good of a dude he is. he was like, man, we're gonna get it fixed. You can't come to Sturgis and not ride. He goes, hell, if they can't fix it, you're gonna ride my bike. And I was like, no, man.
Aww.
Yeah, and I was like, no, but that's the kind of dude he is.
man.
Just a good dude.
That's cool.
I really, really enjoyed meeting Brady.
Yes, and their whole crew. And Amelia from Go Fast Don't Die as well. Got to see you. Hey, babe. And yeah, got to meet Carey Hart, who I thought was a cool opportunity. He's not only a motorcycle rider, but I watched him growing up. Watched him do motocross and all of that. Used to watch the X Games.
Yeah, that's Pink's husband, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I know him.
Pink.
Isn't that crazy? Like I ride motorcycles. I know he rode, but like I know him more as Pink's husband.
Yeah. And that was fun. Sam Badbeard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a photographer, freelance photographer. He and Megan just moved to the Atlanta area, so I guess from Florida. So that was cool to run into them at Sturgis as well. And then on that same day, met Maggie Gulassi from Instagram. She also is a writer and model and content creator. Oh yeah, we met Karen Noel. We saw her at Iron Horse Saloon the night that we saw Yellow Wolf. So that was cool meeting her. Took some pictures. And then we went to Black Hills Harley Davidson in Rapid City. That was a fun, oh my gosh, when we rolled up, that parking lot, that Harley Davidson is huge. How many bikes?
It's a sea of motorcycles.
A sea. I mean, you can't even, I don't even know how many bikes can fit in there.
I have no idea.
But it was a lot. And that's where we met some of our other sponsors, SNS Cycle. We saw Rob and John and Matt were not there. So sorry, guys, we didn't get to see you, but we'll see you next time. But yeah, we got to talk to Rob and he, gave us a little bit about his background and what he does for SNS Cycle. And, he's been doing it for 10 plus years and he's having a good time. And then we met RG Destroyer, Adam, and he was hanging out and got one of his Dixon flannels.
Yeah.
I saw Sal from East Coast Riders.
Yeah.
I think I saw Polly. Literally, I met Kate, Sassy Pants. I saw Joe, Highside Joe. He's a stunt rider as well. We went the next day when we were in Sturgis. They were getting ready. They were just practicing for the brawl. And so we saw Sea Bear. And Joe and all of them performing. And then out of my peripheral vision, I see Bad Wolf. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you doing here?
Like you're old friends.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
And he's like, hey, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here, Stuart?
And I'm like, I'm a big fan, I love your music. I've listened to your track with Yellow Wolf and, the Luke Chasey song.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
Yeah. And he's like, didn't we ride in Cali? And I was like, no, that's somebody else, but come to Atlanta. Let's ride.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
And I saw Gavin Fax as she was riding past and I didn't have enough time to catch her. But remember, I was like, that's Gavin. She's like Queen Mother rider for like the Litas. It was awesome to see her. But we never got to connect. I know that there was several people that I didn't get to connect with that I was pretty sad about. Queen Sit, she stayed in Deadwood, but we ended up not going out that night, so I wasn't able to get to see her. And just saw a ton of cool bikes, man.
Oh God, that's the best part. Other than the riding,
so many nice bikes. You couldn't really. There was no favorites. I was just enthralled with a lot of them. So.
Yeah, and it's all kinds too. I mean, obviously Harley is predominant, but there's a lot of Indian. There's a lot of other bikes as well, but just all of them. And then some of the most crazy tricked out bikes you've ever seen, and then the theme bikes, like the rustic dystopian bikes, and
yeah, that was pretty crazy looking with the Louis Vuitton luggage
I know,
on the
right?
back.
You're like a rusted out shit box with a Louis Vuitton bag on it.
I don't think we're doing it justice.
We're not. We're not doing it justice, but
We're not.
We're not. I mean, the reality is Sturgis is even in my mind, like I don't think about all we did.
It's an experience.
While you're doing it, you don't really realize how much you're doing, like how many things we experienced. I mean, Full Throttle Saloon. I got to see Tesla.
Yeah.
I mean,
that
we haven't even
unexpected.
talked about that, right? Tesla is a group that was a little bit like older than me when I was growing up, but I always listened to that kind of music that was like my older brother's music, right?
Yeah.
And Tesla was one of those bands that I grew up listening to, you know. And so seeing them play, and then all the girls were hanging out with in chaps, and thongs. It's just crazy, and all the attention that got. No, it was a good time, and I highly recommend it. And I hope to get to go back. I'm looking for. I don't know if we'll go next year. It depends. I would like to. Also, there's some other festivals coming up, other rallies, festivals. It's a festival.
It's a music festival.
It's a motorcycle festival. There's some other, rallies coming up that we're going to go to that hopefully we'll get to see some of you guys there. So
yeah.
Yeah, but that's the end of our Sturgis recap.
That was
all right.
bad.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching the show. Like and subscribe, and we'll keep making these videos.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. That's the end of our Sturgis recap.
Well, that's Sturgis in a nutshell. So
that is an encapsulation of our Sturgis experience.
yes, as best we could.
That wraps up Sturgis.
It's a brief synopsis.
It's a synopsis. Well, that about does it for Sturgis.
I was gonna say, well, yeah, I don't know.